So what's good? If you tapped in, you already know who I am. If not, my name is Caleb Jarrell. And today, we're going to be talking about standing on your principles as a man. You feel me? One thing you have to recognize is that a lot of people go through the world and we navigate through the world not really understanding things, not really understanding why people do what they do, and understanding ourselves. What you have to recognize is that you have to have some principles, you have to have goals, you have to have boundaries. We have to have all these things, because if you don't, you being receptive. What do I mean by that? By receptive, I mean it's like you're catching things of the world instead of putting things out, instead of standing on things, instead of being rooted in something. Does that make sense? So it's like you go through the world not really navigating things on your terms, and you're navigating things or navigating throughout the world based on what everybody else wants you to do, based on how everybody else wants you to be, based on the personality that everybody else wants you to have. And when you do that, you go through the world not really understanding why things go how they go for you. And it's not until you get some boundaries and some principles and some things that you stand for, when you start to understand and see how life goes for you. You'll start to see the difference in between how people treat you. You'll start to see the difference in between how you treat yourself. You feel me? You don't let things slide like you used to. And that's the main thing in the world. So you have to ask yourself, who do you want to be? What do you want to stand for? What type of man do you want to be? So start having a mindset to learn and put in effort. And not only learn, but apply the things that you're learning. You feel me? A lot of times we sit on too much information and we don't put any action towards it. And it's literally like the things that you say you want to do in life, you can do it. Everything that I said I want to do at 17 and 18, I'm doing right now. You feel me? And you tend to be an example for the others around you. And you don't even got to say nothing for real. They'll see just by your lifestyle, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you interact with people, the standards and boundaries that you hold yourself to, the level of life that you want to live on. They'll see that proof is in the pudding. They'll see that they can become somebody too. And it don't got to be nobody just too crazy, you feel me? Whatever level that you want to live your lifestyle on, you can do that. You feel me? It's you and God. If y'all locked in, y'all can do whatever. Some of y'all might have hoop dreams, feel me? Some of y'all might want to go to the pros in whatever sport. Some of y'all might want to be businessmen. You feel me? But you can always be more. You don't have to accept the circumstances that life gave you. You don't have to accept the cars that life gave you. You can always improve your life. And that should be your goal every day as a man, as a woman, whoever watching the channel. You can always improve. Your mind waking up should be, what can I do to put myself in a better circumstance, in a better situation, to improve my health, to move to a new city, to travel, whatever it is that you want to do. You have to ask yourself, what do I want out of life, and what do I need to do to execute? And after you figure that out, then you just apply the things that you need to do. Apply the things that you're learning from OGs and learning from, studying, podcasts, reading, all that type of stuff. The biggest thing is going to be applying it. And that's the issue that a lot of people have. They don't want to apply the skills and apply the knowledge. So you got to stop over-consuming and under-applying. I'm going to say that one more time. You got to stop over-consuming and under-applying. We need to consume and apply. You can't do one and not the other. You feel me? Who are you surrounding yourself around? What are you listening to? Ask yourself, what are you consuming? You feel me? A lot of y'all just consume YouTube videos or, the wrong type of content and wonder why your lifestyle isn't changing. Wonder why you're not improving. Wondering why you still fat. wondering why people still treating you the same. Dog, do you not know once you set boundaries and standards for yourself and you stand on them for yourself, people start to do the same thing for you? But why would somebody else hold you to a standard that you don't even hold yourself to? So once you start standing on these things and improving your life and start holding others accountable, holding yourself accountable also, others start to treat you the way that you treat yourself. And if they don't, that's when you know it's time to, move on. It's time to part ways. So ask yourself, what is it that I want out of life? What type of man do I want to be? And when you figure those things out, and it's not even when you figure those things out, how do we figure those things out? You start to look at examples that you want to be. You start to look at people that inspire you. What do they do? How do they live their lifestyle? How do they carry themselves? How do they allow people to treat them? And once you start to see those things, then you apply those things. Once you start to get that knowledge, then you apply those things. Does that make sense? You have to be inspired and motivated to be who you want to be, to become somebody. It's kind of like you building your own character, because you start to kill off a lot of these old mentalities and old habits that you go through in life. And you start to become better. You start to become the person that you want to be in life. You feel me? And sometimes you got to switch up your environment. Back in my hometown, I couldn't walk in no trails like this. I couldn't see some nice houses behind me walking in trails like this. But what did I do? I knew I wanted more out of life, so I had to switch up my environment. I had to switch up my normal and get out of my comfort zone to become who I wanted to be, to get on the path to becoming who I wanted to be. And it's a journey. You can't expect things to come quick. We live in a world where people want microwave results, but results take time. But what matters is, are you working towards getting the results? I don't care if it's through relationships. I don't care if it's through business. I don't care if it's through whatever it is that you're going through or that you're pursuing. People respect results. I promise you that. People don't care about what you say you're going to do. People don't care about what you did yesterday. People don't care about what you did a year ago. What they care about is results. Are you who you say who you are? Do you do what you say you're going to do? Are you becoming the person that you're saying you're going to become? And once you become those things and you become that person, then not only do you inspire yourself, but you start to inspire others around you. And they might not tell you that. People tend to watch on the sidelines before they check into the game. You feel me? If we relate it to basketball, before you can get into the game, before you check in, you got to go to the scorer's table. A lot of people in life gonna sit at the scorer's table before they check in, start asking you what you're doing and why you're doing it. Before they inquire, start asking you how you got to here. Start asking you how you got these results. They gonna sit at that scorer's table for a good minute. But guess what? You got to keep playing your game. You got to keep running the play. And I can't run the play for you. You feel me? Coach can give you the play, but you got to go out there and execute it. He can draw the play up, but you got to go out there and run it. And sometimes that play gonna work. Sometimes it might not. But I can give you the blueprint, but you got to execute it. You got to put it to practice. But it all depends on how bad you want it. So once you do these things, you start to understand what you really want out of life. You feel me? When you wake up, what do you ask yourself in the morning? What goals do you have in the morning? What are you doing to better yourself and better your situation? You feel me? If you're fat and you don't like it, do something about it. If you don't got money in your bank account, do something about it. Get you a gym membership. Go walking, you feel me? Anything to do something better for your life and improve your situation, you have the power to do something about it. Why? Because God gives you the breath to go and achieve what it is what you want to do out of life. But if we're just being, to a point where we're just allowing things to happen in life and not making things happen in life, then what do you expect your life to be like? Why do you expect an extraordinary outcome and we giving poor execution? There's nothing and no goals that you have set for your life. So think about that. You want your life to be better, but you're not doing anything. You're not pouring anything. You're not putting in any work. You're not putting in any effort. It depends on how bad you want it. How bad do you want success? How bad do you want to lose that weight? How bad do you want this scale to drop? And you feel me? You can't control how quick the scale drop. But what you can control is the food that you put into your mouth. You can control the effort that you put in to work out. You can control the consistency that you put in to taking care of your body. You can control the consistency you put in to increase your bank account. You can control the things that you're reading, the things that you're consuming, the music that you're listening to. And what you got to understand is, while you're going throughout life, you can't care about what people say. You can't care about what people think about you. Sometimes you got to put yourself in some circumstances to make yourself become better, to make yourself become more, to make yourself not care no more. You feel me? I'm doing something now that's a little bit uncomfortable for me, filming in public. I got people walking by and driving by and different things like that. But guess what? I'm at a point where I don't care. Because these people ain't paying my bills. These people not feeding me. These people don't know me. But guess what? I know myself. And you have to know yourself to be who you need to be. You have to know yourself to accomplish the things that you got to accomplish. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one that can hold yourself accountable. You're the only one that's accountable for taking care of your family. You're the one that's accountable for taking care of your health. People count on you. But can you count on yourself? Can you show up for yourself? And it's an everyday thing. What does Brian want his life to live like? What does John want his life to look like? What does Rodney want his life to look like? What does Ashley want her life to look like? You feel me? What does Caleb want his life to look like? And once you figure those things out, now it's just you got to execute it. You got to put the work in. Everybody work hard, but everybody don't work hard consistently. That's what matters. Life don't care about you working hard. Life is hard. But be consistent with the little things. Be disciplined with the little things. And as you go through life, you'll recognize over the course of time, you start to accomplish things. Your life start to get better. You start to feel better about yourself. You start to be better. You start to be an example. And that's what matters. But can you stand firm on who you want to be? And can you go out there and execute it?